Well. It seems that speculation season has officially come to an end. But before we get started, let me introduce myself. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Shay. I make videos about horror movies, horror video games, horror TV shows, and theme parks because I live in Central Florida and I feel like it would be a crime not to. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. So if you've seen the title of this video, you already know what we're talking about. Speculation season for HHN 34 has officially ended as of yesterday. And I have to add, this is the craziest speculation season I've ever been a part of. I haven't really been, I've been a huge Halloween Horror Nights fan for pretty much over a decade now. And, I always keep up with every update, but this is the first year that I've actually been active, on the subreddit and active within the community talking to people about this. This year has been all over the place. I know a few videos back I talked about the Five Nights at Freddy's leak, and we have an update to that. But this year seems like it is going to be a banner year for Halloween Horror Nights, and I can honestly say I am so excited for Halloween Horror Nights 34. So, without further ado, let's talk about what we can expect from Halloween Horror Nights 34, Halloween Horror Nights 2025. So I'm going to start with the shows. We're going to start small and work our way up, because I don't want to just, hit y'all with the big stuff instantly. So, the first show that we knew obviously was going to be coming back was Nightmare Fuel. It's Circus of Decay. This once vibrant circus has festered into an unending nightmare. It's a sinister spectacle of pyro, aerialists, and illusions. Personally, I'm not excited about this. The show is good. The show is good. They work really hard on it. However, I need to see something different, because I feel like every single year they do the same exact thing. They just do it in a different setting. So I need to see something a little bit different. I don't know. It's not for me. It's not for me. Maybe I definitely will check it out just to give my opinion on it. But I'm not super excited about it. But this other show I am super excited about, because I have been hoping since we lost it in 2022. I have been hoping we would get this show back, and we finally are. We are getting back the Lagoon Show. It's Hauntophonic, a ghoulish journey. A ghost story is rising from its watery grave to haunt the Universal Studios Lagoon, featuring towering water screens and eerie music. When I tell you how much I love the Lagoon Show, the main thing I love about the Lagoon Show is convenience. The Nightmare Fuel show is great if you're the kind of person that wants to go in, have a seat, sit down, and watch a stage production. But the Lagoon Show is ideally the best for just kind of a go pace. You could pretty much see the entire Lagoon Show the entire time that you're there without having to actually sit down and watch it. And you also can sit down just about anywhere and get a good decent view of it. I am super, super excited that they're bringing this back. If you guys didn't know, in 2022, we had a massive hurricane here called Hurricane Ian. And even though it mostly devastated Southwest Florida, it also did do quite a bit of damage to certain areas in Orlando. Pretty sure you've probably seen the picture of the giant hole in the Jurassic Park ride at Universal Studios. The Lagoon Show was unfortunately a casualty of that. And we did not know if we would ever see it again. And I kept hoping. Last time I went to Universal Studios, which was the 4th of July, my brother and I noticed that they were doing something in the lagoon, and we were like, they're bringing it back. So to have confirmation that the Lagoon Show is going to be back, I'm so excited. I'm so happy, and I cannot wait to see the Lagoon Show. That's my show this year. We also have some interesting new things that are going on. I don't know, there's not too much information about them right now, but they are doing some street experiences. One is Mel's Die-In Zombies, which, if you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure you've seen me wear the shirt in the past. The Mel's Drive-In restaurant turns into Mel's Die-In. My cat just zoomed by. Don't mind her. It turns into Mel's Die-In, and it's basically what they do is they just turn off the R and the V in the word drive. And it's sort of a staple for HHN fans, people who've been going for years. It always brings us joy when we see the Mel's Die-In sign. However, this year they're actually adding like a theme, and they're going to have like a zombie sock hop, which I think is really cool. I don't know what that's going to entail. It sounds like it's going to be like a dance party almost. And then the other one is Club Horror, which I don't know what that's about. Again, I think that might be the theme for the the Red Coconut Club. That might be the theme for that. But at least we know with the Mel's die-in zombies, like that's going to be something new. There's going to be music and like a little bit of more interactivity. I personally think that this is a nod to HHN Japan, because a lot of people on TikTok were sharing videos the last 2 years of the dance parties at HHN Japan. And something that Universal Studios Orlando is missing, and I understand why it's missing it, because of the fact that it has grown in size tremendously from the 90s when it started. But it's missing street shows. It's missing shows that kind of break things up a little bit for people. I mean, they did do that Megan thing in 2023, but like it wasn't enough. And because it was so random and you didn't know when it was going to happen, you couldn't prepare for it. You know what I mean? Like if they had like a distinct time and location for the Megan show, the people that wanted to see Megan would go see Megan. Whereas like instead of having the Megans just pop up randomly on a night, in a completely different location, and then it just causes like a bottleneck effect. Like they could have just been like, okay, the Megans are going to be over this side by the horror makeup show, and you know the people that want to go see the Megans are going to go to the horror makeup show area and watch that, and it's not going to create as much chaos. So having this Mel's die-in area be like this is the area. This is an area that we're creating that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interactive. There's gonna be dancing. It's gonna be a great time, and it's all gonna be under the guise of horror. It kind of does break things up a little bit for people. I know for one thing, I'm excited about that. Like I just want to see what it's gonna look like. I want to see how it's gonna be executed. And I hope this is something that they continue to do in the future. I really hope that they bring back some street experiences. They start to think about how they can make a street experience something that can sort of draw the crowd away from standing in the middle of the road and just looking around, because they do that quite a bit. And don't get me wrong, I understand why. I tend to do that too, and I'm just as guilty of it as everyone else, especially when it's a really busy night and I'm overwhelmed and I don't know where anything is. I'm usually standing there going, okay, where the heck do I go? But in the case of this does break things up. It also makes it more, interesting. Makes people possibly want to stay there longer, and maybe even pull some people out of line. Not a ton, but some people, because the houses they have are heavy hitters this year. So I'm just going to say this right off the bat. Be ready for more than an hour wait for pretty much all of them. Be ready for that. If you're one of those people that your biggest gripe with HHN is waiting in line, this might not be the year to go. This might be the year to skip. Unless you're like me and these houses are like your dream houses. Anyway, so that's some cool new things. They said there's more details coming soon. Hopefully, I can update you guys on that. I'll either do that in a small video on TikTok or Instagram, or both. Because that's not really something I'm going to talk about in a whole video. But yeah, it's definitely really cool to see. The next thing is the rides have been announced for HHN 34. A lot of speculation has been going around because we are getting rid of Rip Ride Rockit at the end of August, I believe, like right before HHN starts. Rip Ride Rockit will have its last ride, which, if you don't know what Rip Ride Rockit is, it's this roller coaster monstrosity that you see there. But it was a big draw for a lot of people. A lot of people really like to ride that during HHN because it's dark. The cars on the lights on the cars looked really cool. They lit up. It's definitely kind of sad that we're losing that for HHN. I personally cannot stand that roller coaster, so I'm not mourning the loss of it, but I am mourning the loss of another ride to take people out of the lines a little bit. But they decided as a trade-off that this year they're going to open Transformers The Ride 3D. Now, I remember distinctively, even though people are saying that Transformers has never been open during Halloween Horror Nights, I remember distinctly 1 year riding Transformers during Halloween Horror Nights. So I think at one point it was open. I think that was probably back when Diagon Alley wasn't open. Either before Diagon Alley was built or when J.K. Rowling still had a bug up her butt about HHN. But yeah, I feel like that it was open then. But I read it. People are like, Transformers has never been open during HHN, and I'm like, are you sure about that? I'm like, are you sure? Because I really feel like I really have distinct memories of writing it with my friends during Halloween Horror Nights, like at the end of the night. Like that was our last thing that we did before we left. So I don't know, maybe if you remember you can clarify, but I'm pretty sure it's been open. So this is going to be the first time in a very long time that Transformers is going to be open during Halloween Horror Nights. I'm not a big fan of the Transformers ride, not because it's bad, it just gives me a headache. However, if I'm with somebody and they want to do it, I'll do it with them. I'm not going to complain. It's something to do that's a little bit different, breaks up the monotony. I'm cool with it. Of course, we still have the same rides that are open every year: Revenge of the Mummy, Men in Black Alien Attack, and The Wizarding World of Diagon Alley. Side note, when I went to Universal for 4th of July, I noticed that there were some different things in the Mummy. I noticed that in the beginning, where there's the sarcophagus and the guy's wrapped up in the, the mummy wrap, and he's telling us that we need to get out of here because the curse is real, there was another mummy behind him that was moving. And I kept asking everybody if they saw that, and no one was answering me. And then finally, I think it was my niece said, "Yeah, that's crazy." So there's another. I don't know if it's an animatronic. I don't know if it's screen. I don't know what it is, but it's right to the side of the mummy wrapped guy, just chilling there, and it looked up, but like it moved its head up at like the car, and I was like, that is creepy. And then also they updated the visual effects on the screens. Everything is like 4K now, really, really in depth, and I was impressed. Also, and then they added lights to the tunnel, the launch tunnel before, where he goes, "Your souls are mine." They added lights to that, which I'm like, these are cool updates. The crazy thing about that though is they closed that ride for almost a year. And when it reopened, the only thing that was different was that Imhotep worked a little bit more than he usually did. So I'm like, when did you guys do this? When did you guys do this? Either way, I'm really glad that they did something to the Mummy ride. And it's going to make it, in my opinion, worth riding during Halloween Horror Nights. It's going to add to that ambience, add to that whole thing. Also, because the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is going to be open during the event, the Death Eaters will be coming back again for a third year. Hide the Sleep Token fans. Last year was a little bit much. I hope that it tones down a little bit with the fan interactions, because oh my god, like I get it, I love a guy in a mask just as much as anybody, but my goodness, I actually walked into Diagon Alley and saw a group of women surrounding one Death Eater, and I was like, y'all need to y'all need to breathe. Y'all need to breathe. Like, calm down. It's not that deep. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I don't really go down in Diagon Alley anymore since they've started doing the Death Eaters. I used to go down there just to get a break from, like, the chaos out there. Also, it was the best time to ride Gringotts, because Gringotts was usually an incredibly short wait. However, now that the Death Eaters are there, it's no longer a short wait. So, kind of sucks that, the Death Eaters are there now, but it also, I know that a lot of people really love the interaction, whether they love it because they are fans of men in masks, or they love it because they're a Harry Potter fan. So I'm not gonna yuck your yum. I'm not. But in any case, there's some cool little side things going on. So now let's go on to the scare zones. So there's some interesting scare zones this year. I believe there's 5 this year. Yeah, no, there's 4. I guess because the Mel's Die-In counts as one. I don't know. Okay, so the first scare zone that they announced, which is probably the one I'm the most excited for, is the Origins of Horror. Enter a decaying conservatory of twisted vines where artists carve tributes to Halloween Horror Nights 34. You'll encounter monstrous crows, gargoyles, and more. So now there's a reason why I'm excited. There's a couple reasons why I'm excited for this one, if it's done well. First of all, I love gothic horror. I love the vines and the dead roses, dead flowers, and like the over-the-top costumes. I love that. So if that's what we get with this scare zone, I'm totally down for it. The other reason I'm really excited is that we're getting the crows. If you have ever seen anything about Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood, I think it was last year. It's either last year or 2023. It might have been 2023 that it started, and it's just continued on. There was a couple of stilt actors who are giant crows who became incredibly popular because of their interactions with the crowd. They were very, very cool. So I'm excited to see how that translates over here to have the murderous crows. I don't know if we're gonna have them on stilts. I don't know if they're just gonna be people walking around flapping their arms. I'm excited that we're getting the crows. I believe everyone's saying this is going to be the entrance scare zone, and that is the only thing that gives me pause, because the entrance scare zones are usually really bare, and I don't typically enjoy that. I don't typically enjoy, because it doesn't feel like a scare zone. It just feels like a place where there's people. There's people. So we'll see. We'll see how it does. I'm not gonna knock it till I see it, but I am excited for it. Then there's Masquerade Dance with Death. Another one that I honestly am very excited for, and you'll know why the second you hear about it. You're invited to a masquerade ball where bloodthirsty vampires lurk behind ornate disguises. When their masks fall, you'll become their prey. I love vampires. I love vampires. Glad to see that the vampires made it back to Halloween Horror Nights. I'm glad to see that vampires are back on the menu. I can't wait for this one too. Like, I think that all the scare zones are pretty good, but like, I think those two are my top two. I think this one's going to be really, really cool. It just depends on where it's located, because I fear that it's going to be located in the San Francisco section, and the San Francisco section seems to be a death sentence for any um, scare zone that goes there. So I'm kind of nervous about where this is gonna go. But we'll see. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping from the picture. I haven't seen any pictures of that area yet. I've only seen pictures of the next scare zones area because it's already set up. But I really hope that it's not in San Francisco, because San Francisco is a death sentence for any of the scare zones. So we'll see. But I am excited. If they do it right, this should be really cool. Now, this is the one that is almost completely set up in the Central Park area, which I figured it was going to be in this area because it's perfect for it. The Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. Travel down a spooky, winding path to a mysterious home where trick-or-treaters are transformed into feral felines. Be careful or you'll be next. My feral feline is under my bed, I believe. I was gonna try to bring her out for this, but she's under my bed, probably, taking her first nap of the day. Obviously, I love cats. I love cats. I like this one because it has a vintage Halloween feel, which is something that I really liked about the Major Sweets scare zone that they had in 2022. Had that vintage, old school, Halloween feel that I obviously didn't grow up in. I'm interested in seeing how this one plays out. Central Park has been another one that it's gone downhill as far as the scare zones have gone, not because they've been bad ideas or anything, but it's the same problem that San Francisco has. It's a small space, and they filter a lot of people in and out of that small space, so you kind of lose some of the ambiance. So I really, really hope, fingers crossed, that we get a really good scare zone with this, because it sounds like an interesting concept, and I'm down for it. And then finally, this scare zone I find the funniest, and I will tell you why in just a minute. Mutations Toxic 20s. In a bustling 1920s neighborhood, a BuzzCon truck with radioactive cargo crashes into a mobster getaway car, sending the city into toxic pandemonium. It mutates everyone in its path, including you. Okay, so BuzzCon was actually featured in the Bugs Eaten Alive house in 2023, I think it was? No, it was 2022, because I did all 10 houses in 2023. So 2022. I did not go in that one. I don't like bugs. Bugs are absolutely out of the question. But BuzzCon is the company that is responsible for that fiasco that happened. And apparently they're responsible for this fiasco that happened as well. This one, I believe everybody is almost 100% sure is going to be in the New York section. It sounds like it. It's a city. I couldn't imagine it being anywhere else, because the only thing I could see is them putting it in the Hollywood section. But at the same time, I'm like, but the zombie thing is over here, so that might take away from it. I don't know. We'll see. Because they only have 4 scare zones this year, and usually they have... Do they have 5? They usually have 5. So they only have 4 this year. So I'm kind of concerned that, I'm still kind of concerned that the Masquerade one will be in San Francisco and that the Hollywood area isn't getting one because of the Mel's die-in. I hope that's not the case. I hope that they cut San Francisco because, to be quite honest, that area doesn't need it. Just pump some fog through there and we're all good, especially because it's leading into the Harry Potter area where Death Eaters roam. So that's, but everybody is pretty sure this one's going to be in New York, and it makes sense because it is a New York style, like, you know, area. I mean, New York style, you know, mobsters, getaway cars. I could see it. I could see it. It's a big enough space for it. But the reason why I find this one so funny is I am such a big fan of haunt events, even though this is really the only one I go to because usually it's the only one that I can afford to go to. But I watch haunt events from all around the world because I love them and I like to see what goes on. That being said, I've watched a lot of videos about Knott's Berry Farm, or Knott's Scary Farm, which is in California. And if you are from California or you know anything about Knott's Scary Farm, you know that they have a scare zone that's almost exactly the same as this. And it ties into one of their haunted houses. So when I saw this, the second I saw this, I was like, oh, they had to change it just enough so that it wasn't like Knott's Berry Farm. Which, either way, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I know a lot of people are saying that it's not going to be as good as the one in Knott's Berry Farm because the one in Knott's Berry Farm has a lot of the character interactions. But as I've said before, I don't care about character interactions. I want scares. So if you're having a conversation with me, I'm not scared. I'm just uncomfortable. If you're trying to actively scare me, then it gives me a little bit to work with. So I'm interested in seeing this one. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I wonder if it's going to have any references to Bugs Eaten Alive, although I believe Bugs Eaten Alive took place in the 60s and this is taking place in the 20s. So, maybe they have something, you know, like a prototype or a, a schematic of the machine that they created to get rid of the bugs. So, yeah. Those are the scare zones that we have this year at Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. And now we are on to the haunted houses. As usual, we are getting 10 haunted houses. This year, though, as opposed to last year, we are getting an even split again, which I prefer. We're getting 5 originals and 5 IPs. They have a really solid lineup of IPs this year, and probably a really interesting sounding lineup of originals. So let's start with the originals. The first one I have here is El Artista, a Spanish haunting. El Artista, a Spanish haunting. I'm not going to say that because it's in Spanish. Maestros del arte y del terror. I can't roll my R's. I'm going to leave that in so you guys can hear how bad I am at speaking Spanish despite being Hispanic. In 19th century Spain, a tortured artist moves to an isolated country manor to seek inspiration. Instead, the art comes alive and possesses him. You're about to be part of the permanent exhibition. So this one sounds really cool. And they actually revealed this one at Spooky Empire Con this year. They had like a whole like thing where the artist came out and, you know, did his little thing and they showed artwork from it. It looks really cool. And I believe the person who's designing this one also did the Blood Moon house and the Dead Man's Wharf house in 2022, the one that everyone still talks about as one of the best houses ever, which I would have to agree as far as set design, it was one of the best houses. If he is the one that is doing this house, I can guarantee you the sets are going to blow us away because the Blood Moon set was amazing and Dead Man's Wharf set was amazing. So I guarantee you this is going to be a beautiful set design if it is him, but I'm pretty sure it is him from what I've read. The next one, out of all the originals, this is the one I'm the most excited for because of reasons we'll get to. And I also had to look up how to pronounce this, so if I butcher it, I apologize, but this is what Google says how you pronounce it. It's Gunk. Galkn. Gunk. Monsters of the North. Call forth a legion of terrors. In a remote northern village, a wicked being rises from the dead, bringing a horde of monsters and demons from the fjords to wreak havoc on the townspeople. Try to escape the belly of the beast. I love like Nordic stuff. Like I love like Vikings and like Nordic monsters. I love that stuff. I'm really excited to see what they do with this house. There's a wolf on the picture, so there might be wolves, you know? I don't know. I'm just interested in seeing what kind of creatures they're gonna have in this, because it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be live. I'm really excited for this one. It's right now, it's the top of my hype list for the originals. We'll talk about the hype list after. The next one we have Grave of Flesh, Your Dead Meat. Welcome to your funeral, where things are about to go from bad to worse. You'll enter your grave and then the underworld, where flesh eaters who feed on the dead will hunt you for all eternity. Um, the artwork for this looks like a 80s metal album cover, and I can't take credit for that. Somebody said it on Reddit, and I haven't been able to unsee it since then. Um, a lot of people thought Slash was going to be involved with this one, but no, he's going to be involved with one in Hollywood. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one. So let's move on. Dolls, Let's Play Dead. Welcome to her toy box of terror. You're about to become doll-sized and witness the unnatural creations of a twisted little girl. You'll be hunted by burnt fashion dolls, toys she's melded together, and undead horrors in her dollhouse. And then the final one we have is Hatchet and Chains, Demon Bounty Hunters. They're the outlaws from hell. In this old west town, all hell is breaking loose. Red-hot lava demons are trying to possess everyone, melting everything in their path. Your only hope? Hatchet and Chains with their mystical weapons. This one was apparently in Slaughter Cinema 2 last year, and continues the tradition of things that appeared in Slaughter Cinema getting their own houses. I don't remember because I had my eyes closed during Slaughter Cinema, but it sounds cool. It sounds cool. As far as my hype list for the originals, obviously Gunk is my most, I'm just gonna call it Monsters of the North. Monsters of the North is my most excited, like the one I'm the most excited for. Followed very closely by El Artista. I'm excited about Hatchet and Chains Demon Bounty Hunters. It almost sounds like it'll have a little bit of a comedic edge. Maybe. We'll see. Then Dolls, Let's Play Dead would be the one of the ones I'm not super excited about, but that's mainly because Dolls freak me out. And then Grave of Flesh is at the bottom. Now, years ago, I remember doing this, and Darkest Deal was at the bottom, and then Darkest Deal became my favorite house. So, I'm not saying Grave of Flesh is going to become my favorite house, but just keep an eye on this channel, because I might say that at the end of HHN season that Grave of Flesh was my favorite house. Alright, now we're going to get on to the IPs, and like I said, they have a stacked list of IPs this year. So, I'm going to insert a clip here from a video that I did months ago where I was rating everybody's HHN predictions. And they had Fallout on there. Fallout, from what I know, I mean, I played the Fallout games very briefly, but Fallout, from what I know, is not a horror movie. I mean, the concept is scary, but how could you make that a haunted house? Yeah, so I was wrong. The first IP they announced was Fallout. The vaults can't save you now. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA, escape from the vaults to the wasteland, and confront the formidable bounty hunter, the Ghoul. I really still am not sold on this as a haunted house. I know every single person that I'm friends with is like, no, but it has elements of horror. It has elements of horror. But I'm like, when I played the games, I wasn't scared. Maybe it's because I didn't play a certain game. I played like 2. I think I played New Vegas and 76, I think the one's called. I played those 2, and I just don't remember being scared. I remember being frustrated because it was hard. And I haven't watched the show yet. I keep saying I'm going to watch the show before the event starts. I don't know if I'm going to get to it, but I didn't really classify the show as a horror show, and when I've talked to people, they consider it more of an action show. So I really was shocked when people were saying this was going to be a House of Halloween Horror Nights. I was really stunned, and then when it got confirmed, I was like, okay, I guess I was wrong, and I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong in this instance. We are getting a Fallout haunted house, and you know, I was being an idiot. So my apologies to anybody who really believed that the Fallout house was coming, because it's here. It's here. The next IP that they announced is Jason Universe. evil doesn't stay dead. The iconic horror villain, Jason Voorhees, is coming for you. Step into his terrifying world, from a sinister shack in the woods to the summer camp where it all began. They really need to figure out this legal dispute nonsense where, like, you can use Jason Voorhees, but you can't use the name Friday the 13th. Because Jason Universe just sounds like the show Steven Universe. That's all I think of. And I'm expecting him to, like, mold together with, like, the crystal gems. Like, that's what I'm expecting to happen. That being said, I am glad that Jason is coming back. I'm glad that we're going to get to see him again. I'm glad that we're going to have a house dedicated to all of his best moments. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Jason's return to HHN. It's been a hot second, I think, since 2015. So yeah, 10 years, 10 years. Jason, welcome back. It's your 10-year anniversary of being gone. How does it feel? All right, so yeah, so that's the second IP they announced. The third IP, which has been the hotly debated IP for the last few weeks since they announced it, but I am so hyped for this one. Terrifier. The Terrifier isn't clowning around. Try your luck against Art the Clown in the Terrifier Funhouse. You'll witness his grotesque handiwork of torture and be exposed to the spatter of his victims. It's a whole new level of gore. So Terrifier is like, I love Art the Clown. Okay, I love Art the Clown. There's a multitude of reasons why I love him. I know some people are like, oh, those movies are just like gore corn, and they don't like, they don't like it. They don't understand people can like it. I appreciate the fact that a lot of this was self-made, that this was pretty much self-made by Damien Leone. And Art the Clown is a really great villain. He's funny yet scary at the same times. We'll have to say Terrifier 3, it lost me towards the end. I liked it up until the end of the movie. I don't know what was happening that last 20 minutes of the movie. It was a mess. So, yeah, that's probably my least favorite of the three is Terrifier 3. But it had my favorite kill. I'll talk about it another time. It had my favorite kill of the entire franchise so far. Anyways, I am so hype about this one. The reason it's been hotly debated is because if you know anything about Terrifier, you know how violent these movies are. And when I say violent, I don't just mean like there's blood here, there's a little bit of, this here. I mean, like, Art kills people in very strange ways. And as brutal as possible, I mean, he makes the suffering last. Like, that's his thing. Like, there's some slashers that they just take you out like that. No, he wants to see you suffer. And I am just like, he's sadistic. Like, he wants to see you suffer. So people are wondering how they're going to do this house when the event is technically PG-13. And so they're saying, a lot of people are betting that after opening weekend, we will see this house get toned down a lot. I'm not going to say anything. The only thing I'm going to say is that if you are going to this event with your children and you don't know anything about Terrifier, maybe look into it. You don't have to watch the movies, but you can read the Wikipedia page. You can talk to people that maybe know. Use your discretion. Don't go in the house and then go to Universal's guest services and complain about the house when you have ample time to prepare and know, hey, I'm not going in that house. And if you're a completionist, you're somebody that likes to go and try to do all 10 in one night, but you know you're not going to like Terrifier, maybe just suck it up and don't do all 10. Last year, I had to do that for Major Sweets. I had to suck it up and not do Major Sweets because of the vomiting. You can do it for Terrifier if you don't like that type of gore. So, my main reason why I'm saying that is because I would hate to see this house lose its edge and drop in quality from what everybody who likes the franchise expects, because there's people who go into this house not knowing what they're getting themselves into, and then they walk out and they're pissed off. That's not their fault. You have ample time to prepare. You can do your research. There's plenty of information. You can know ahead of time, I'm not going to be able to go through that house. That being said, I am expecting that it will drop in quality after opening weekend, maybe after the first couple of weekends, because we all know there is going to be somebody that is going to bring their child through that house, and their child is going to get immediately traumatized, and then they're going to go to guest services, they're going to have a whole fit, a whole meltdown, and then they're going to have to go and change the Terrifier house. So I hope that, I'm going opening weekend, I'm not going opening night, but I'm going the Saturday after. I'm hoping I can get into it opening weekend, because if I can get into it opening weekend, I can at least see it in its original state before the Karens get to it. Because I know that the Karens, they're rubbing their little hands together. They're like, I'm gonna take my 12-year-old through there. I know my 12-year-old can't handle this, and I'm gonna take her through there. She's gonna break down and cry, scream, throw up, and then I'm gonna go straight to guest services and I'm gonna get a refund. So I know that there's people that are going to just completely disregard what everyone is saying, that like this house may not be for you. If you don't like gore, it may not be for your kids. If you don't know what Terrifier is, I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to disregard that, and then they're going to be pissed at Universal for even doing this. So I'm hoping I can see it in its original state before Karens get to it and knock it down a couple of pegs. I hope that it doesn't come to that. I hope that it doesn't, these people just avoid the house, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. All right, and then we have our last two announcements. Now, these two announcements pretty much dropped around the same time. According to my brother, one of these was announced on Monday, but it wasn't officially announced until yesterday. And that is The Horrors of the Wyatt Six. Fear is the main event. Go head-to-head with the Wyatt Six as they lure you through the ominous doorway to their shadowy realm. You're about to meet your match. Now, this is another house that's been incredibly controversial. It's been controversial since it was speculated, and it is controversial since it's been announced. If you don't know who the Wyatt Six are, like I didn't know who the Wyatt Six are, they are wrestlers. I don't know if they all are, but it started with wrestling. It started with a wrestler who is unfortunately no longer with us, named Bray Wyatt, who his whole character in WWE was like a horror character. He did like The Fiend, and then he had started a cult, and yeah, he had a really good story. Someone posted it on Reddit. I will see if I can find it and then leave the link in the description so you guys can read it if you have no idea what this is. I think the fact that it says WWE really puts people off, because they think that they're going to walk into that house and there's going to be a ring and people are just going to be like body slamming each other. I don't think that's what's going to happen in this house. From the pictures and the videos that I've seen of this group of people, I can see this being a really scary house, like a really well done scary house. And also, the preview merch that they've had for all the IPs has been pretty decent, but the shirt for this specific house, for the Wyatt Six house, is my favorite shirt. It's so creepy, and I want it so bad, even though I'm not a wrestling person. Like, I want it so bad because it's so freaking creepy. I want it so bad. I might have to like pop over to Universal and just buy it one day. Just go there just to buy that shirt and then come home. Because it is a really creepy like shirt, and I love it. I'll put a picture of it up here so you guys can see what it looks like. But yeah, I'm actually interested in this one. I don't want to say it's like the top of the list, but it's definitely on my list of like, I definitely want to make sure I get in this one. I want to see what they do with it, because the story is interesting and like the costumes are cool as heck. So I'm down for whatever the horrors of the Wyatt Six has in store for us. And then finally, even though we knew it was coming, even though they already had told us something was coming, I want to let you know that I got this announcement when I was in a meeting for my job, and I had to hold in my excitement the entire time. I was listening to the meeting, and I had my phone open, and I scrolled through Instagram real quick, and I saw the video, and I had to hold in my excitement. The second that I got off of the meeting, I lost it. 'Cause I have been waiting for this for over a decade. I have been teased about this for the last 3 years. And it is finally happening! Five Nights at Freddy's! Can you survive 5 Nights at Freddy's? Get ready for the night watch at a creepy abandoned pizzeria where nothing is what it seems and possessed animatronics are lurking. 5 Nights at freaking Freddy's! Freddy Fazbear Entertainment is coming to Universal Studios. I have been waiting for this since I played the first game. I have been waiting for 5 Nights at Freddy's. I am so hype. And I know this is going to be the longest wait. I don't care. I don't care. I have to go in this house opening weekend. This and Terrifier, I don't care if I have to wait 5 hours for them. I will. Okay, I lied. I do care if I have to wait 5 hours because that's like almost the entire event. This is something I've been waiting for. I remember when I played the game, I said, you know what? I don't think it has the potential to be a haunted house, but it would be cool if it were a haunted house because the whole point of the game is jump scares. And then the games kept progressing in intensity. I'm actually playing Secret of the Mimic right now on my channel, my other channel. I'll leave the link in the description. I only have one video up because I'm working on the second one. It's just been taking me a little bit longer because I've had a couple of birthdays in between this. You know, I've had some stuff going on with family and nothing bad, just like family stuff going on. And my birthday is coming up soon in like a couple weeks. Well, actually in a week. Ugh. Anyways, yeah, so I have been playing Secret of the Mimic, and seeing the story evolve, seeing the scares change, and even the movie, I loved the movie. I don't care what anybody says. I thought the movie was wonderful. As a hardcore FNAF fan, I thought the movie was wonderful. It did what it needed to do. It did better than what I thought it was going to do. I've been waiting for this for a very long time, and I really, really, truly did not believe when it first was being hinted at. I didn't believe we were going to get it. It was the moment that it had been leaked that it was coming, and then Universal posted about it on their Halloween Horror Nights page, like, we have more information to come, that I knew we were getting it. I knew Five Nights at Freddy's was coming, and I have a feeling that, unfortunately for them, this was probably going to be their big mic drop moment, and it was ruined. Although I still do have my theories that it might have been a publicity stunt, that leak. I still do like a publicity stunt, like to get people talking about the event. I still wouldn't be surprised if that's what they were actually trying to do, but that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is we're getting Five Nights at Freddy's, and if you can imagine my hype list, that is at the top. That is at the top for all of the houses. I am so excited for Five Nights at Freddy's, and I really hope it doesn't disappoint me. I really hope they don't like fumble it. I hope that they put their whole foot into this house. After that, it would be Terrifier. Terrifier would actually be the second one. Then I would say the Wyatt Six, because I actually think that that's going to be a pretty scary one, even not knowing much about it. And then Jason Universe, because you can't really go wrong with Jason Voorhees. And then Fallout, because I'm still iffy. I don't know if Fallout is gonna do it for me, but I know a lot of people are really, really freaking hype for Fallout, so I'm glad that you guys are happy, and I hope it lives up to your expectations, or maybe even exceeds them. So that is what is going on at Halloween Horror Nights this year. It has been a crazy speculation season. I mean, we've had leaks, we've had merch leaks, we've had house announcement leaks, we've had just so much crazy stuff going on. We've had, like, you know, are they, aren't they? They were actually supposed to announce the Wyatt Six house last week, but then Hulk Hogan died, so they couldn't announce it last week because Hulk Hogan died. So it was like they were supposed to announce it last week, and we ended up not getting that announcement. Wow, it's crazy. And I really like the subreddit community. I'm not super active there, but I will read a lot of the like announcements and breakdowns about the house. There's people on there that know a lot, and they give the information out as it is released to the public. And I really do appreciate that. That being said, I still gotta get my ticket. This is the first year that I don't have my ticket, like, already. It's been crazy this year. It's been so busy. I've been doing so much stuff that I'm just like, okay, now I'm gonna buy my ticket, not this week, but not next week, but the week after. I'm gonna buy my ticket then, getting the multi-day pass, of course, as per the usual. And, yeah, no, I'm gonna buy my ticket. And my whole family's already excited. My best friend, who's back in the area, she's just like buzzing right now because she loves pretty much everything that they've announced. Like, she loves Five Nights at Freddy's, she loves Fallout, she loves what was the other one that she loves? I think she loves Terrifier, just like me. So, you know, she's buzzing. We're all buzzing. My cousin's buzzing. Like, my cousin, we're all buzzing. We're all super, super excited. I got to get started on bracelets. I probably will start on those next week. I gotta get started on bracelets. I like just realized that when I saw people posting bracelet pictures on the subreddit. I was like, oh, that's right. I made a lot last year, but I didn't give any away because I was too nervous. This year, I'm not going to make as many. I'm going to just make ones that I want to wear that are going to be coordinated to what I wear because I got to start thinking about my outfits. I know I'm definitely going to have a vampire look at some point during the event because of the vampire scare zone. I'm not going to have the bangs or anything like that, but I will be wearing one of my dresses I have that's like a vampire sexy dress. But anyways, yeah, I'm really excited for this year's Halloween Horror Nights. I think it is going to be the apology that I deserve for last year because last year's was hard to get through and hard to find positive things to say about for me. I think this will be the apology that I deserve. I think I'm going to have a blast. I think the nights that I just pop over there, you know, after work with my cousin, we're going to have a blast because we always do this. It's like our thing. We're like, Halloween Horror Nights tonight? Yeah. So I'm super pumped. I'm super hype. I'm ready to go. I have a good feeling about this year's Halloween Horror Nights. So that is all I am going to say about that. Let me know down in the comments which house you're most excited for and which house you're kind of on the fence about. At the end, I'm going to do a video after opening weekend. I'm kind of going to make a vlog, not fully, but I'm going to do a video after opening weekend, kind of giving my opening weekend thoughts so far, or like at that point. And then at the end of the season, last year I didn't do it because my schedule for work was just so crazy during that time because of sales. There was a lot of sales we had. So last year I didn't do it, I just did a blog post, but this year I'm going to try to prioritize doing a video right after I have gone my very last time where I give you my final official rating of the houses, the scare zones, the food, the shows, the event in itself. So yeah, I can't wait to go to Halloween Horror Nights. It's a few weeks away. It is crazy. It's like less than a month away. I'm gonna get out of here. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends, leave a comment. Any engagement that you do lets me know that you enjoyed what you just watched. Thank you so much for bearing with me and all my random like videos I keep throwing up here out of nowhere, and I will see you guys next time with another creepy critique.